This is a problem many YouTube creators are struggling with. Why do all of the views I get on my YouTube shorts not transition over to my long form content? Well, finally, we have an answer. YouTube, in their own words, literally broke the algorithm. You probably already know who this fella is, right? Mr. Beast, 100 million subscribers, yada yada yada. But that's not who we're interested in today. This is Todd from YouTube, and he probably knows more about search discovery and the YouTube recommendation system than anyone else in existence. The pair recently sat down together at vidCon, which is massively sponsored by TikTok these days, to chat about YouTube. The whole conversation that covered several topics over 45 minutes is available to watch on YouTube, and I'll leave a link to it just below the like button. But what I want to focus on today is an admission from Todd that when it comes to discovery, YouTube Shorts and YouTube long-form content don't necessarily communicate with each other. And this, in a nutshell, is why. One of the foundational elements of YouTube recommendations are personalization. YouTube will look at what's in your watch history and recommend content based off of that data. YouTube have pretty much perfected this personalized recommendation system through a near infinite amount of data over a long period of time for long-form landscape content. But what happens when you throw a massive curveball into that recommendation system? Well, that's exactly what Shorts did. For over a decade, YouTube viewing habits were quite predictable. People watched maybe several videos over the course of an hour or two. But then, and all of a sudden, people could watch 50 videos in 10 minutes. And that changed the way the recommendation system understood the viewer.
When the algorithm saw a viewer, oh, look, the last 200 videos this viewer watched were all under a minute. This viewer is like, they only want to watch short videos. And so it basically stopped recommending those viewers long-form content.
It wasn't long before YouTube users started to notice this and complain about it. And that obviously leads to two major red flags for YouTube. First and foremost, YouTube's algorithms, or the recommendation system, all of a sudden was failing in its primary objective: to serve the audience content they want to watch. And as a result of this, viewers are likely to spend less time on the platform. And you can imagine that the data sets coming from YouTube Shorts was sudden and massive. Billions of new daily views interfering with existing personalized viewing preferences. So what was YouTube's solution to all of this? Well, it was really quite simple.
The algorithm doesn't know how to handle shorts and treat that the right way, so we're going to split off the history for the viewers. So when a viewer goes into the main YouTube, we're going to not pay attention to what shorts they watch because we don't want the algorithm to get the wrong idea.
So a simple and convenient fix for the viewer, but a baffling and frustrating penalty for creators. Does that basically mean that a viewer could watch 999 YouTube Shorts on your channel, but not get recommended that one long-form piece of content?
If a viewer does discover a channel in Shorts and then goes back to long form, right now the system doesn't actually know that they discovered that channel because we disconnected it.
Okay. This goes all the way back to 2020 when YouTube first introduced short form content on the platform. Back then, I questioned whether these two very different viewing experiences could coexist. I thought that YouTube might develop a completely independent app, so you might end up with YouTube, YouTube Kids, and YouTube Shorts. But alas, I was wrong, and YouTube integrated Shorts into the main app. And to their credit, it's been more or less seamless, with these one or two exceptions. So if you are wondering why the success of your Shorts content seems to struggle with the transition to long-form content, it's because from a recommendation data perspective, YouTube ignores anything positive your Shorts are doing. Essentially, your long forms are starting from scratch. But none of this means that your long-form videos will never get any views. Put simply, and has always been the case, your long-form videos actually need to be good. They need to satisfy the viewer. And once those videos start doing that, YouTube will serve them up to the right audience. The responsibility still lies upon you to make good videos, and it might be that you're a very capable, skilled Shorts creator, but not as good at making long-form content. Or vice versa. They are very different creative disciplines. I mean, I've been aware of YouTube Shorts for probably longer than 99.9% of you who are watching this video. But it doesn't make me any better a Shorts creator. We've not got enough Shorts views on this channel because we've not dedicated enough time and effort into it. So yes, you may be getting a lot of views on your Shorts, but if you're not getting any views on your long form content, it's because those videos aren't very good. yet. And then let's think about this disconnect between long form content and short form content in terms of discovery.
There isn't much of a bridge from short to long forms.
So doesn't that mean, theoretically, that you can test, experiment, and post as many shorts as you want, and it won't impact the rest of your channel? I'm not sure if I'm confident enough to suggest that as an actual strategy. It's just a Rob Wilson musing. But what Todd did say is that they're looking to rebuild that bridge back into the system, so you have been warned. But if all of this has whetted your appetite to start making shorts on your YouTube channel, then check out the complete beginner's guide over here, because you're going to start seeing a few more shorts on the vidIQ channel.